Appreciate you.
Yeah, you can tell him he can
hear
get
you.
started. Let's get started.
Counselor
Okay.
Smith can hear you.
Okay, Mr. Smith, we ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The time is 5:35, Tuesday, April 26th. The City of East Cleveland Personnel and Appointments Committee meeting is called to order. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Sure. Counselor Martin,
Present.
Counselor Gowdy will be late. And Counselor Smith,
Present.
you have a quorum, sir.
Thank you.
I'm going to scroll down for you. There you go.
Thank you. So for the sake of the people, I would love to add on, and I know that this is not a regular council meeting, so I don't need a motion, but are there any residents online that would like to have a word about agenda items only, please? Having none, move right along to discussion. I want to thank everyone who took time out to join us tonight. First, we have council office policies and procedure. So at our last personnel and appointments meeting, we had a what I thought was a productive discussion about office policies and procedure. But since that time, there's still been some things that we need ironing out. My two colleagues that I believe that this discussion will only be productive if they were present. They are not present because I believe most of the concerns falls on their two shoulders. But I know our clerk has some concerns about the policy and procedures, the emails. I know our president has some concerns about the emails and the policies and procedures of the council office. Again, in my opinion, we need our other two colleagues here to have a productive conversation, but I will open the floor briefly to our great clerk Tracy and our president Martin, if you would like to have any words about policy and procedure of the basically what we spoke about last meeting.
Well, I thank you, Counselor. Well, much hasn't really changed. I mean, I thought we did put everything to rest and we were going to move forward. But it seems, again, I'm doing my job. When you ask for something or Counselor Martin asks for something and I just prepare agendas and send them out and whatever, I am now via emails and it's being written, I'm being accused of usurping specific council people, taking away their power, and that I am supposedly sending out emails on Counselor Martin's behalf. But basically, there's that undercurrent that he's not aware of me sending emails out. So, I mean, it's just going to go on. If that's how they feel, I mean, I don't know what else to tell them. I haven't stepped over anybody's toes. I don't usurp anybody. If I'm told to prepare an agenda and send things out, that's what I do. That's part of my job. And at this point in time, that's all we can do. We're not going to make everybody happy, and it's just going to continue. The unfortunate part is they do put this in writing, and it just shows a pattern, and it's just hostile. It'll just continue, but you know what? I'm a bigger person, and I'm going to move forward. I know I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not doing anything illegal in that office. I'm not usurping anybody's authority. I'm doing what I'm told, preparing stuff and sending it out. I'm not doing anything illegal, so it's okay. The onus is going to be back on the people that are putting that out there. The only other thing that we need to discuss is this thing with these street signs. We really need to put some policies in place of how council wants to, these put up street signs on behalf of somebody that's done something special for the city or that. so that it's, it's sort of getting kind of out of hand. And I know that this does fall under personnel and administration, and we do need some things put in place just in our office so we know exactly what we need to do, so that it doesn't start looking trashy, or that it loses the luster of what was intended for us to do special proclamations and something special like that. And that's all I have to say at this point.
Brother Smith,
On behalf of the people of East Cleveland, Madam Clerk, we thank you. Mr. President, I look to you, my brother, to see how can we alleviate some of these problems that our two colleagues are having with the policies and procedure of the office.
well, I think it was 2 years ago, maybe less, 3 years ago, we spent 8 months, 9 months putting together policy and procedures. At that time, Brandon was a council person, and we spent a lot of time, and we voted on it. And those are the ones that are in effect right now. What I think we need to do is everybody needs to take a look at that, and I know Tracy has a copy of that. And we did it. The entire council was involved with it. We spent a lot of time with it, but we got it done. On the signage thing, I think we need to come up with some policies in terms of a majority of council approves, and then if we do a street, like for example, if we do, let's say we did Knowles, well, the proper way it should be done is every house on Knowles has to be knocked on with a flyer, letting people know that we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and make sure the majority of people are okay with that. That is something that we need to put in writing. We've kind of not had it in writing, but I'm willing to work with you, Mr. Smith, and the entire council. Let's put together like 5 or 6 things that needs to be done. Right now, everything's on hold because it's coming up, and some people want to make a big issue out of nothing. So we can hold off for a while. Okay, so that's just how I'm feeling about it off the top of my head. But I definitely think that if a person wants to do a street or something, if it gets 3 council people, a majority of the council, then they can move on doing it. And I was told, and I don't know how true it is, that if you put the sign up on the street, I think you put it at one end of the street, you don't put it at both ends. I was told that, but I'm not sure. But if we come up with the policy and the procedures and we vote on it, then that would be the mandated. That would be the law. So that's where I'm at with that. I do know that we get a lot of emails from certain council people. Some of it is like, for instance, today I was reading one where it talked about the neighborhood advisory committee, but we have nothing to do with the neighborhood advisory committee. It's under the mayor. That should be sent to the mayor. Okay. And then certain things that is said that I think is unnecessary, but we've had the meeting, I guess a month or 2 ago, and still that type of negativity, I would say negativity and that. And it seems to be one does one and the other one's right behind, and whatever the case may be. But hopefully we'll work it out. So that's basically, not to put a lot of verbiage, that what needs to be done. We need to come up with a policy and procedures for the signage. I think people need to look at the policy procedures we worked on 4 or 5 years ago, because we covered a whole lot in there. The good news is I looked in the office a few minutes ago, and it's painted now. So we had an issue with the floor, and that's being worked out. So that basically covers it. Do you remember, Brandon, when we did the policy and procedures? How long ago was that?
So that was my first year. That was like 14.
14, and we put 89 months in that, didn't we?
We put 8 or 9 months,
Okay,
argue,
Right.
but we got a document that we really love.
and that's what's in effect. And that's in effect. If we want to change it, add to it, or whatever, the council has that prerogative. But that's what's in effect right now. Okay, and
Right.
going back, not to be redundant, going back to the signage, definitely walk the street. I mean, every house on the street, we walk it and let the people know what this is what we're gonna do. And if majority of people are all right with it, then we move with it. If a bunch of people are against it, then we don't go forward. That's the way it has to be done. Okay. And then if anybody else want to add something else to it, we're open to that. Okay. So that's basically all I have.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay. Mhm.
Thank you, Mr. President. So I remember the policy and procedure booklet, which it should be in the office. I can remember, and again, I'm not trying to, but I can remember a certain president tried to scratch out on their own a lot of the
Yeah.
things that were okay. So we remember. So that's why I feel, I just want to get together again and just get an update with this new council. If we have new members on council, because I don't like dictatorship. I think we all know that by now, and so we remember that situation. Great, I'm glad you remember that. So that's why I say let's all get together and update that, because that's our prerogative.
And
Street sign.
Brother Smith, and adding to what you're saying, have Tracy or Justin put together the manual so everybody
Yes.
they can read it. So when they get here, they've read it, so we can get through it. Okay.
Absolutely.
But what I observed, going not to be negative, but somebody was working on changing the book and all that with one of the clerks that's gone now, and I let her know that she can't do that. I said this has to be done in the committee. I said you don't have the power to do that, and all of a sudden everything disappeared. Okay, so continue, Brother Smith. I just had to put that out there. Okay.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Right.
Street signs, as we know, about a year ago, as you all know, I try to think of innovative and different ways to honor our residents, give residents their flowers, whether they're here or not here. I hope that we online who was present remember that I brought Allegheny Circle before council, being very transparent, and asked the body to honor Minister Helen Hubbard, which is Dr. Guy's mother, which I appreciate the body agreed to. So I agree, we should be transparent. This was my idea. No one was thinking about it. I do not mind. I do agree with coming in front of council. We can't be slinging around street signs like they baseball cards. There's a lot of people that we could say thank you to with a proclamation. We could call them in council meetings. I guarantee they will feel absolutely awesome about that. We can't be, and I'm going to say we, but it was only one, one of our colleagues. We can't be ordering street signs without going through the proper process, without going through the finance committee. That's wrong, period. So there's a situation going on right now with no's. Again, when I first started this journey about a year ago, Miss Martha Clifton was on my radar, a legend from no's. Our great deputy clerk is trying to do the right thing, and because he's out there talking to people, I guess he ran across a young man, and just made the simple mistake of telling this young man that he's going to have a ceremony and such. Well, that small mistake has turned into a big storm. So, Mr. President, I agree that these need to come to get the consensus and the blessing of council, as like we did Minister Helen Hubbard. You know, I signed off on Reverend Smalls at the last minute. I didn't know about the sign being ordered. I didn't know about our great president going to the church, reading off the proclamation. And I felt very, I didn't make a big deal out of it, but we discussed it now. I felt very disappointed and very disrespected. Reverend Smalls baptized me. And I don't like all this politicking, you know, when someone come up with an idea, other ones get to trying to leave that person out and, you know, but again, this time I'm going to chalk it up as a few mistakes. Our deputy clerk, we've had differences in the past since January. I said it to him. I've said it before. I like the work he's been doing. So I'm gonna chalk this up as a mistake. I ask that it can't happen anymore. I personally will not disrespect the many, many legends that we have in the great city of East Cleveland, people that we haven't even said thank you to. So that's where I'm at with it, with the street signs. And I hope that we all can come up with innovative ideas and ways. And that's all I have to say about that. Thank you. Moving right along. It's a great honor and a great pleasure. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have a couple new department heads, and I've asked Ms. Burton I've asked the mayor to ask Ms. Burton to join us, and just for a real simple introduction. And so, Ms. Burton, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
All
Can you hear
right,
me?
all right.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. You enjoying yourself so far here in the city of East Cleveland?
I am. Thank you.
Thank you. So we just wanted you to introduce yourself for the public and for the record, and tell you how great it is for us to have you here.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, I am Samika Burton. I am the HR director for the city of East Cleveland. I've been here all of 3 weeks now, but it feels like right, a couple of months, but I am diehard East Cleveland. I grew up, born and raised in the city. And so I worked here prior in 2011 as the executive assistant to the HR director at that time. So I am excited to be back to join the team and help out in any area that I can.
Thank you, Ms. Burton. Welcome back. Mr. President, you have anything?
Yeah, I think Wednesday, May 4th, because Tuesday is election day, May 3rd. I asked the mayor to have at that meeting on May 4th the 3 new hires of the police department. We got 1 female and 2 males, right? And I asked him to come to have him come to the council meeting so people can meet them. So I know those are 3 new hires that the police department has hired. Okay, is that okay?
That'd
Right.
be great.
All right. Okay. So that's all I have to say, brother Smith.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for joining us, Ms. Burton. We appreciate you.
You're welcome. It's nice to meet everyone.
You too, Ms. Burton.
Thank you.
Same here. Next up, finally, we have staffing challenges, which is basically what we already discussed. Madam Clerk, would you like to have a word on staffing challenges?
I think that the reason for the staffing challenges at this point, what we've discovered, like our police officers leaving, it seems every city is hiring. All we keep seeing popping up are all these cities are hiring police officers and trying to steal them from us. And my understanding is some of these cities love East Cleveland police officers because they think they see the most action. And they think that, yeah, and they feel that they're trained, hitting the ground running in East Cleveland. So those are just some things I found. And I think your other staffing challenges are just to let people out there know, money's not everything. A lot of these jobs are heart. You got to work from the heart. It's got to be something you really want to do.
Absolutely. Mr. President?
Well, we got 3.2 miles and people come here and get great experience in these 3.2 miles. So we just have to hope that we got people here that care about the people and do what we need for them to do. That I think that's the important thing. For the last 20 years, we struggled with paying our people what we like to pay them. And that's going to be a challenge coming up because we've been lucky the last few years to get some extra money, but that's not going to continue to happen. So we may have to make some cutbacks in the next couple of years. So we have to be aware of that. Most of the police officers I come in contact with are pretty satisfied with being here. Okay, all right. So if we get some extra money, if the police officers wrote a couple of grants that was successful, if we can get some more grant money, we have to continue down that line. But ultimately, once we get these developers in here to build houses and increase our population, that will bring the revenue that we need, that we can pay them what we would like to pay them. Okay, that's all I have to say, Mr. Chairman. Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, would you like to have a word on staffing challenges?
Thank you, Council Vice President. Been a long time coming. I know I've welcomed Samika a number of times. Thank her for coming back. I'm sure you know her, Council Vice President. She's a Shaw grad,
Okay.
East Cleveland.
Shaw grad too, huh? She's a Cardinal.
I didn't know her when she worked here the first time.
All right.
Sometimes we get lucky. I get lucky, right? So, giving our age away, but only me and Nate were here when all the cuts happened. I actually didn't get on council till 14, and I think the cut started in 12, 13, 14. So you remember we had the downside, and then Belinda was doing HR and the mayor's executive assistant. So it's really an honor to now, as we continue rebuilding East Cleveland together, to now separate that back out and bring in a designated HR person, someone who's actually trained in it and can do it very well. Plus, she's from the city. So the challenges, and Tracy, the council clerk, she hit it right on. Not many people want to work. Every department is basically jockeying for police officers. Cleveland has not filled, they were hiring 200 police officers, and they have not filled them all. They've increased their pay 2-3 times. There's two particular cities, I won't mention them, who love to poach from ours. And when I talked to their mayors said because by the time they come out of East Cleveland, not just police, but also fire, they're well trained, right? And know how to handle themselves out when a call for service comes in. So we have a number of candidates that we posted, and the new HR, Samika Burton, she knows her way around hiring. So we have a number of interviews that we're bringing in. That's all I have for staffing challenges. We'll keep trying and we'll keep interviewing people and bringing people in.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. All right, before we adjourn, Madam Clerk, are there any of my neighbors online?
Actually, I see 3 people, but I don't know who they are. Somebody, I know Charles is online. If I see somebody with the initial CC, I don't know who that is. I see somebody that just has an X and then somebody's on via phone. There's no name, so I don't know
Thank you.
who they are.
Thank you. Will anyone from the public like to speak? Thank you. I really want to thank you all for joining us tonight. And I know we have to get ready for the special meeting. So right now, all in favor for adjournment to the personnel and appointments meeting. The time is.
Oh, before you adjourn, Counselor, you know,
Yes.
we're talking about staffing challenges, and this could be directed at the mayor as well. Is there any reasoning, maybe this summertime, we could reach out to the high school or whatever to get some high school kids in to help as interns with some of the departments? That'll give them like a real life experience, even if it's just answering phones or scanning in some paperwork or something. That might help free up some of the departments a little bit.
So, Council Clerk, that's a very good idea, and we will reach out to the schools in that regard. One of the challenges that I can think of up front is that we brought in a number of personnel to help out with the homeowner grant. So we are actually running out of space to put people. But that's a great idea, and we will reach out to the schools to see if they have some students who want to do a summer internship in that fashion.
Okay. Yeah, because I think we have things that we need to scan in and that might free up a little bit because we have so much paperwork that really needs to be scanned in so we can start getting rid of some of it. But we don't have time to stand there and scan it in or that.
I agree.
So it's just an idea that might be advantageous to some of the high school kids. Let them see what it's like to work in a city government setting. That's all I
Thank you,
had. That was just an idea to help.
Thank Madam Clerk, is the next meeting, will the next meeting be on this same very Zoom?
I think by then our office should be done and we should be back in chambers.
Oh, no, I'm talking about, I'm sorry, my apologies.
Oh,
The
no,
6:30
the
meeting
special meeting? Yes, and you know what? You can just stay logged on to this. Because, yeah, even though you end the meeting, I'll stop recording. And then when we're ready for the next meeting, I will record that one. So nobody has to leave. It's the same link.
Okay, thank you. So all in favor to adjourn the Personnel Appointments Committee?
Aye.
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 Thank you. See you in 6:30.
All right, what time you got?
Ms. Hemmings is late.
6:08.
Okay.
Thank you all.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Brother Smith. Thank you.